Hey YouTube, what's up? What's up YouTube? How's it going? Let's see. How's this working? Yep. So, how's it going YouTube? I guess I'll just wait. Just wait a moment. Hopefully, some folks will come in to the chat. I hope. If not, then I'll just cancel. Hey, welcome to the chat, whoever you are. And hey, welcome to the chat. I don't know who you are, but welcome, nevertheless. Yep. I see two people here, but I guess more people will show up as the time goes on, or as the day goes on, or the chat goes on. Yeah, thanks for coming to the chat, whoever you are. Well, I guess I'll get started. So I did this live stream just to speak about media representation and how we view ourselves through media representation. So it's like where I'm coming from with this is like, do you identify with your media representation, or do you maybe have issues with your media representation? Do you think it could be better? You know, it's just something to think about. And I thought about doing a video about this. And I may still actually do a video about this, but I kind of want to just maybe do a live stream and get some people's opinions. And I'm talking about media representation as far as like the Black community is concerned, as well as different skin tones within the Black community, and perhaps even just different body types in the Black community, as well as other features present in the Black community. And, you know, for me, like my media representation, I think, you know, it's pretty decent. You know, thankfully, you know, I'm thankful that I can look to the media and have some people to identify with. And I guess, you know, some people who I feel that represent me, like specifically me, as well as some people who I feel like I can like low-key root for and, you know, support, because I feel like, you know, they pretty well. But yeah, welcome to the chat, you guys. Welcome to the chat. But I know some people out there may not identify with their media representation. Hey, Ginger T, thanks for joining the chat. I appreciate the support. And as well, I kind of wanted to pose the question out there to you guys. Like, do you guys identify with your media representation? Do you guys feel like your media representation is like the best that it could be? You think it could have some room for improvement? Or you think it could be improved? Do you think that your media representation is a good representation of you? Yeah, these are just questions I wanted to throw out there and just see what you guys think. As well, I hope you guys have had a good week. You know, it's, you know, we're getting down to the wire here. You know, 2019 is pretty close by. 2019 is on its way. It is coming pretty soon. Ginger T, I think it's okay, but everyone's representation could stand to be better. Okay. So your media representation would be between light-skinned women or among dark-skinned women? Okay, so I'm guessing in the in-between category, perhaps brown skin or peanut butter. Okay. Do you feel like Gabrielle Union would be good media representation for you? Okay. Yeah, I kind of can see that. But a lot of people put Gabrielle Union in the dark skin category. I always kind of felt like, based on how she looks, I don't think she's dark skin. I think she's more like brown skin. But, you know, I guess people want to have someone to root for. Okay, if she was compared to Beyonce and Lupita, and what season? Yeah, I kind of think she gets lumped into the dark skin category. And that happens sometimes, just because sometimes it just boils down to light skin versus dark skin. Hmm. What about me? Same question. Um, I'm thankful for the media representation that is out there. It could be a little stronger, a little better. I think, like you said, there's always room for improvement, but I'm appreciative definitely of the representation that I have in the media because at least it's something. So, you've been having a good week? All right, that's good. My week, it's been kind of busy. Mm. Do you relate to Kaepernick? Hmm. I think on some level I do. It's definitely, and I guess still am, definitely rooting for Colin Kaepernick. Let's see. Do you relate to who else is out there for brown skinned women? I guess Taraji P. Henson. I guess maybe she's a bit more like the safe brown. Depends. Okay. When she's not being a cookie type character. Okay. Well, I'm just saying perhaps maybe just in general as like Taraji P. Henson, the person, as far as like her being somebody in the media that you can say, hey, there's a, cool brown skinned woman. Like I know you won't be able to relate to every character that she plays. Okay. Um, are you in the United States? It seems like it. Okay. Hey, Ebony. Thanks for coming to the chat. I appreciate the support. Ginger tea. Do you think colorism is getting better? Colorism? I don't think so. I don't think racism is getting better either. I think the black community is just very much invested in colorism and invested in racism. And I don't think they wanted anything to change other than their position within colorism and their position within racism. But thanks, Ebony, for loving my chats. Yeah, I meant to come through yesterday, but I was just tired. I think I wound up, well, I worked a lot and then I had ate a big meal, so that wasn't a good idea. Ebony, I'm back. Well, the message got canceled. Mensaje cancelado. Yeah, you got to be careful about who you support. Ginger tea. Did you see the South African guy who removed all the white Barbies? No. I think Chrissy did a video about that. I guess there were Barbies in the store that he owns or store that he works at or something. Ginger, he was pressed. LOL. Why was he so pressed? Ebony, I think black people just like to complain about who is light or dark. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's it's complicated, you know. It's a complicated thing, like colorism. Ginger T. He was tired of the lack of representation for black people, even in toys. Hmm. South Africa. Hmm. Well, they have Black Panther toys now. I mean, I don't think black people are really benefiting from that, but there's black representation there. Hmm. Was there any particular issue you wanted to discuss? Well, I wanted to discuss the media representation, but it looks like that has um, ran its course. Let me see what else I've talked about this week. Um, hmm, having parents of a different skin tone. You know, I think that is something that's worth discussing. And I think that's something that often gets swept under the rug, but having parents of different skin, like, say if you're like dark skinned but have a light skinned parent, or if you're light skinned and have a dark skinned parent, like kind of like the dynamics of those relationships. Because I kind of feel like if you are a dark skinned woman and you have a light skinned mom, I feel like you may be less likely to speak out on colorism. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's a factor. Ginger tea. My mom, dad, sister, and I all have different skin tones. Sounds like the Cosbys. Ebony. Do you get hit on by women because you are light skinned or because you're nice looking? That's hard to say because I feel like people do factor in skin tone to how people look. I mean, no one's ever brought it up. Specifically. How about you? Say Renee S. Not so. So you don't think that that plays a factor or plays a role in how dark-skinned women tend to speak up and out about colorism. And I think the dark-skinned women are more likely to cater for light-skinned women if they have a light-skinned mom. 731. You should stop the colorism stuff. It's not real. You'll make more money making videos like big YouTubers and positive stuff. Yeah, I find that really odd that people say it's not real. Is racism real? Ebony. I don't think we care about media representation because we represent ourselves on YouTube. Hmm. Galaxy at 36 at 7:31. So be a sellout, huh? Renee, no, my mother is light, and no, skin women. Okay, so you could be just, I don't know. I feel like there's some truth in that, what I'm saying, but I don't know. Renee, they don't need any help from me. Do you have a good relationship with your mother? Because that could play a role too. Galaxy, hypergamy has a lot to do with women dating decisions. Ginger T, same. My mom is a light skinned biracial woman. Okay. Galaxy, women tend to not want to break the social norms. Kari Yates, I'm not sure what that means, but welcome to the chat. 7:31 at Galaxy. No, it's called not being setting yourself up for failure. I guess it's called not setting yourself up for failure. Okay. So 7:31, you don't like colorism conversations. Ginger Tea at Galaxy. I think women are more willing to than men sometimes to break social norms. But hey, you notice, right? I did a video about this, right? About how certain people like to control the narrative, right? I did a video about this because certain people are used to controlling the narrative. $7.31. I like all just saying it won't help you. Look at Mystic Got Jokes. He turned the colorism stuff into money by putting it into comedy skits. Actually, this is my first time hearing of Mystic Got Jokes. Yeah, that's a true, or that's a good point, Galaxy. If my focus was money, then I would honestly, like, I would probably play the game a lot differently, quote unquote, you know. I would be pandering to black women a lot more instead of telling them what they need to hear. I would be telling them what they want to hear, right? And as well, making sure that I don't step on any of the black men's toes, right? Basically, just telling y'all niggas a whole bunch of shit that y'all want to hear because y'all just, you know, very easy to manipulate. That's how y'all got caught up in slavery. Kari Yates. I hope your night is going good, everybody. Thanks, Kari. $7.31. Are you from the UK? Galaxy, exactly. The best way to make money. Tell people what they want to hear, like Derek Jackson. You know, that was when I was saying that, that was the person that popped into my mind. So it's funny that you mentioned that. Derek Jackson. You see how many black women support him. And I'm not even sure if he, it's like, I think he either dates like the light bright chicks or probably white women. 7:31. I'm from Watts, California. Okay, so you're from the hood. All right. In California, like I heard that they're like really super colorist out there. Are you one of those dudes? 7:31. Galaxy, yeah, people been calling him out for a good minute, exposing the fuck out of him, and he's still making money. Yeah. Just like Phil from the Advice Show is still making money. Kari Yates, Jack baby mama non-black. Okay, all right, that's what I heard. And I think he is one of those dudes who be low-key advocating for interracial relationships. I'm just saying. You know, it's his business. I am not trying to run nobody's life or tell people who they can and can't be with, but I'm just saying, I don't think like the collective of black women are really like down for that though. Galaxy, he looked like his baby mama, non-black, LOL. Like he looks like one of those Negroes that would be with a non-black woman. Sometimes. Okay. 7:31. Women down for money. Gabriel McKnight. Hey, Stephen. What are your thoughts on Blake Griffin? As far as him being black or being mixed or being other or something? Hey, hola, Melissa. Welcome to the chat. Thank you for coming out. Galaxy, you need to get red pilled. MGTOW. 7:31. Okay. 731. I know all about MGTOW. I was raised by a man. Was your father a single father, or was it more like your mother and your father? Ebony. I don't like Derek Jackson. He's not as great as you. Thank you. I think some women just supporting Derek Jackson because they may find him like attractive. Galaxy, that don't mean nothing. A lot of these men hoes. LOL, JK. Scarlet Rider. Hey, Steven. Hey, Scarlet. I feel like I haven't. It's just like your first or second time. I feel like I may have seen you come through once or twice. I know I haven't seen you in the comments section. Galaxy, it's his muscles. Yeah, I think that's probably what the women are gravitating towards. But I'm like, well, there's like plenty of dudes that you could support that are probably way better and would be more deserving of the support. Carrie Yates. Then you should know all men's movements are jokes. 731. Galaxy. Or at Galaxy. Right, but my father told me all about the system and women. Melissa Connell, I don't trust Derek Jackson on women's issues. I think, I don't know, I feel like Derek Jackson, he is, he's telling the women what they want to hear. He's pandering. All right, Washington. Do you like Kaya? I'd say, yeah, she's cool. Galaxy, you had a good father then. Scarlet, yeah, this is my third time in your life. Okay. Galaxy, MGTOW isn't a movement, it's a lifestyle. Big difference. Gabriel, I say he's both. Why people especially have a problem with biracial people claiming both. Take a white parent to make so they have at least 50% white, if not more. Okay. I think for people, black people, I'll say, black people are trying to, I think, reclaim some of their, like, power and authority in regards to who's black and who's not black. And also, creating more criteria, Because before it was just, oh, one drop of black blood makes you black. But now it's different because the one drop rule is off the books. And also because since 2000, biracial people have been able to claim more than one race. Scarlet Rider, I'm Canadian, but in America, you guys have the one drop rule. Technically, it's off the books, but it's still kind of at play somewhat in society. But yeah, that is a part of the legacy of black people in the United States. Renee, white people set that up. I agree. White people set it up, and black people, to an extent, ran with it though. Kari Yates, 50% assuming all whites are even that white. Just saying. Galaxy, they don't want to compete. And let's see, Galaxy, they don't want to compete and dark-skinned men benefit by claiming light-skinned and mixed. Yeah, those dark-skinned dudes are not gonna give up they biracial red bones no time soon. Ebony. Nope. Derek Jackson looks pretty damn dusty to me. Really? Nikki Reed. So two races. Gabriel. You can't reclaim people. They not property, LOL. One drop rule is way, way over. Renee, we had no choice really. It was ingrained in us over the years. I mean, I feel like, yes, it was forced on black people, but I think black people ran with it at times because it kind of benefited black people because it helped boost black people's population. And even prior to the 2000 census, there was pushback by black leaders on allowing the biracial category to become available. K, blissfully me. Black men claim you are what your father is. No such thing as being two races. I feel like that completely just ignores the mom's contribution. Moms do contribute genetically to the children. Scarlet Rider, but most mixed people, in my experience, don't like being called black. I think for me, I'm not sure if I really have ran across many mixed people though, honestly. I don't tend to run across many mixed people, many light-skinned people. Kari, if race is a social construct, then you can make as many as you want. Scarlett, they say I'm not black, I'm mixed. Galaxy, NWA, Malcolm X, Will Smith, Chris Brown are all part of the black community and helped uplift it. Nikki Reed, in the system of white supremacy, there's only white and non-white. Galaxy, Katie Williams. I'm not sure who that is. Okay, Cat Williams. What about Cat Williams? I guess 731 must have checked out. Nikki Reed, if they are mixed and non-black, then move on and let the white community deal with them. And not black. Most groups eventually become their own. Dominicans, mestizos, coloreds, etc. Except in America. Scarlet Rider. Who's Derek Jackson? Derek Jackson is like some relationship dude on YouTube, and he gives advice to women. The bulk of his support comes from black women because black women will support anything. Scarlet Rider. Dominican isn't a race. Melissa Connell, people say you are what your father is. People need to explain to me back in slavery when most biracial people had black mothers, how come they were called black? That's because white people or white men set it up that way. Black men want to claim, I think they want to go outside in the community, have these kids. So then when they have the kids, it's like, oh, they're black, you know. So it's like, oh, you know, they still had black kids. So they didn't like, you know, I guess whitewash or water down their lineage. Galaxy, yes, but there is dark-skinned Dominicans. So. Galaxy, mostly from Haiti. Scarlet Rider, I've been to Dominican, I guess Dominican Republic. They're mostly black, but they hate their blackness. They have a saying called improve the race, make it whiter. Well, you know, some Dominicans are down for blackness. So I guess how do you guys feel about Afro Latinos then? I have a video clip that I've been meaning to post of like Afro Latinos in the industry, kind of talking about their experiences, you know, within the entertainment industry and also within their childhood and just their day-to-day life in general. Scarlet Rider, but when I was there, they all thought I was Dominican. Funny, right? Yeah, I was there with my sister, and I think that happened with my sister. I think. Maybe me. Scarlet Rider. Afro Latinos are beautiful. Okay. Kari. Recent African DNA should be considered black. The human race came out of Africa, so all humans are black. But who's more recent should be more important. Yeah. I mean, I think everyone can claim some ancestor way back when. But I think it needs to be immediate. Immediate. So, any Afro Latinos in here? Any Spanish speakers in here? Just wondering. I've had a few come through my channel before, though. Gabriel, why is this all of this important, Steve? I guess you're meaning why is this all important? It's just conversations. You know, I think it is important to know who is on your side when it comes to race. Scarlet Rider. Afro-Latinos talk about the racism they receive in their countries just like Amara La Negra from Love and Hip Hop. Yeah, Marlon Negra has been pretty vocal about, I guess, racism and colorism. Galaxy, not sure if there's much we can do about racism. Yeah. Yeah, people are quicker to fight the racism fight than the colorism fight, but really I feel like the colorism fight is an easier fight to fight. Like colorism is easier to deal with than racism. And honestly, I don't think if we can't deal with colorism, then I don't think we can really deal with racism. I think racism is like a much tougher beast to slay than colorism. But like I told you, I think people are just, they're very invested in colorism. Black people are very invested in colorism. They're very invested in racism. Um, Many black people want a better position in colorism, just like many black people, want a better position in racism. Car show. Hi, chat. Randy SoCal in the house. Peace. Okay, I think I remember you from the previous live stream. 731. Colorism not real. It don't affect anybody. Well, anyone. Well, you're supposed to spell affect with an A when you're using it as a verb, usually. But colorism actually does affect all segments of the community. It's just it affects people in different ways. Racism stops money, colorism don't. Well, the thing is, there's more important things than money. I think people's well-being, you know, their mental well-being is pretty important. Again, perhaps it doesn't have a financial cost to it, but those things are important. Scarlet, but didn't colorism come from the white man, house slave, field slave? Well, yeah, that is. You can say that that was the origins, at least in the Americas. But I feel like black people have kind of ran with it and kind of made it their own. Kari, nah, two, if you gotta fight gender norms, if you want to fight colorists. Future, would you consider baseball a largely black sport since so many baseball players are Afro-Latino, even though so many deny it? Hmm. I always felt like, hmm, like I get what you're saying, but if they're not claiming black, then I don't think we really need to be concerned with those people. If they're not claiming us, we don't need to claim them. So in that case, no. Ginger tea, but doesn't anyone always, okay, doesn't someone always end up less represented no matter how you try to fix colorism? Mm. Well, it's like if we're fixing colorism, then we're going to have to be quote unquote unfair at times because the problem that like colorism is not fair and balanced. So we can't be fair and balanced in solving colorism. Just like racism is not fair and balanced. Yeah, racism does affect, everyone within the system, but it affects everyone in different ways. Black people's their effects that they experience are much different than white people's effects, okay? Gabriel. Another black person does not mean he's on my side. Are we on the same team? I prefer to look at the real person instead of looking at his or her skin. To me, that's just very shallow. I agree. All skin folk ain't kin folk. All right. I actually have a video about that. I haven't released it yet though. Time. Baseball is a white sport. I always kind of felt that way too. Quote unquote, a white sport. 731. Modern colorism only affects feelings. Well, it also affects people's sense of self, you know, people's self-esteem, which I guess, oh, that's feelings, but those things manifest themselves in the way that people end up raising their children, the way that people end up treating other people. There have been people who said, oh, they've been discriminated because of their color as far as employment is concerned by other black people. I think for you, 731, it's like I understand you're just feeling like, hey, this don't affect me, this ain't my fight. And I'm like, okay, all right. But the thing is with people like that, I always just like, just step aside. You just step to the side though. That's where I'm coming from. Just step aside. You don't have to help. You don't have to do anything. I just need you to step aside though. Like, your name Bennett, you ain't in it. All right, that's cool. Step aside. Car show. Racism ain't stopping some black people. I drive a Porsche and have my own business. Black people have to start thinking business minded, doing for self. All right, congratulations to you, Car show. I agree. Renee, yes, if darker women, for example, don't get hired for a modeling gig because they're too dark. Time. If you notice, once actual black men were forced out of baseball, the sport declined. People only want to watch black men play sports. Football and basketball are popular only because they are dominated by black men. People like soccer too. Not so much in in the United States, but like globally, yeah, people love soccer. 731. I'm dark and never felt like colorism affected my life. Only racism. So you want to get a better position in racism because it's already pretty good. So you just want to get a better position in racism, right? So you just want everyone to help you get a better position. Galaxy, Dominicans and Cubans go ham in baseball. Kari Yates, I don't trust anybody, but I still show more solidarity towards someone, black people, than I would anyone else. Galaxy, how did a lot of y'all find this channel though? That's a good question. Particularly the 731. I'm here to help Steve. I'll volunteer if you want some colorism therapy, come visit my office, LOL. I don't think you're in a position to give people therapy, especially colorism therapy, 731. I think you may need some therapy of your own first. Renee, car show, you're right. Racism doesn't stop you from making a certain amount of money, but it stops you from having any quote unquote real power. That is true. Because the thing is, back during Jim Crow and whatnot, there are people who were black and had money, like Madam C.J. Walker. She was black and she had money. Jack Johnson, um, he was black, he was a boxer, and he had money. It helps you better navigate through the system, but like Renee said, it's like you lack the power, though. Galaxy, money is fine. Power and influence is the problem. Car show. Light-skinned women are just in style. I'm a light-skinned guy and I prefer light-skinned females. I don't like that whole in style thing. I'm like, we're not fashion trends, y'all. We're people. Future in the Dominican Republic, kids aspire to be baseball players like black American kids have a desire to be ball players. So they have hood dreams too. Scarlet Rider, 731, or at 731. I have to deal with colorism in my own family. They always compare me to my cousin because she's mixed, and I felt that I was too dark and my hair wasn't curly, so it definitely does exist. Galaxy, I typed in biracial women or maybe light-skinned women and found your channel. Okay. Kari Yates, bro, a capitalist. Renee, dumpster diving for dates, comment, and recommendations by watching Chrissy's channel. Okay. Okay. Time. A few individuals who manage to thrive in a racist system doesn't mean it's not a problem for the majority of black people. I agree. Scarlet. Car show, but some would say light-skinned guys aren't in style. I'm not saying that, but I've heard it before. Why are we talking about like people like they're again like trends? Like, oh, this group of people, they're on trend. Oh, this group of people, they're not on trend. They're not in fashion. They're out of style. Like, it comes off as a bit slightly dehumanizing, but also just insulting. 731, Scarlett, you've been around the wrong people. I'm dark skinned. My family and women always told me how good looking, strong, and smart, handsome, and helpful I was. Scarlett, 731, but the people around me was my own family. That's true. When colorism is in the family, that's a bit different. Scarlett, our car show at Scarlett. I'm a light-skinned, handsome guy. All skin tones of women like me. I always been in style and on point. Time. Light-skinned guys are still popular in certain media. Renee, it's different for light-skinned men. Or sorry, it's different for dark-skinned men. Yeah. Personally, I think dark-skinned men definitely have some sort of a very internalized struggle that they're very quiet about. And again, if this doesn't apply to you, then let it fly. You know, a hit dog will holler, but I'm talking about specific type of dark-skinned dudes. The ones who kind of engage in colorism, though. I just feel like dark-skinned men are often the common denominator in a lot of the problems in the community, as quiet as it's kept. You know, I do call that out on my channel a lot, you know, and, you know, some people take issues with that. Scarlet Rider, I love all shades of black men. Well, that's good, Scarlett. I'm happy to hear that. That you're open to all shades. Galaxy. Old school black people, our old school black folks were more colorist. But everyone pro dark skin, so it ain't as much of a problem specifically for dark skinned men. Yeah, I think dark skinned men need to get their shit together though. I really feel like I've said, they're probably in the best position to really help dark skinned women, but they're not going to because they suffer from a lot of self hate issues themselves. Galaxy. A light skinned man would experience more colorism nowadays than a dark skinned man, the opposite a few decades ago. Yeah. And I think when it comes to colorism, if you want to see how colorist a person truly is, just see how they refer to to light skinned men. That'll really show how colorist they truly are. Because no one feels the need to pander to light skinned men, because I don't think they feel like they can really get anything out of light skinned men. Simba Mkali. I'm dark skinned, but I prefer lighter women and non black women. I'm not colorist. What's your reason and rationale behind that, Simba, if I may inquire? Galaxy, dark skinned men get babied. I agree, definitely. They get coddled to death, honestly. And it's fucking disgusting. Kari Yates, LOL, true. Scarlet, Ryder. Dark skinned men. I think men kind of are more colorist. I've had guys darker than me tell me that I'm the darkest girl they dated. Hashtag annoying. Time. Latina women go for light-skinned men when they do date black men. I've seen that thrown around. I've seen that kind of happen. But you know, there's Latinas who like dark-skinned men. I think both, honestly, like light-skinned and dark-skinned men, though. I feel like Latinas are probably the most open when it comes to that sort of a thing. Scarlett, car show, you are colorist. Or at car show. $7.31. Damn, I didn't know some light-skinned men felt that way. Colorism don't affect them either. Time. The babying, quote unquote, of dark-skinned men comes from slavery. Black slave women had to protect the men, and it carried over on into modern day. 7:31. We not baby. Women just find us much more attractive, and they more submissive to us. No, I think it's a lot of coddling that goes along with that too. It's definitely an aspect that gets overlooked and swept under the rug. But there is like coddling that goes along when it comes to, I think, black men in general, but especially dark-skinned black men. That's why a lot of them don't really feel the need to do much, honestly. Galaxy, yeah, they are open to either, but I meant a few who only want dark skin. Your babies by the media, fool. Your baby by the media, fool. Renee, are the women perceived that dark-skinned men have larger? Scarlett, a lot of times black men are fetishized by non-black women because they think the only thing you have to offer is sex. Kari, Latinos don't want darker kids though, just BBC. To be honest, I think there's some light-skinned mixed women who don't want no dark-skinned children either. But they'll be the main ones booed up with a dark-skinned dude and having dark skin or having kids with this damn coddled ass nigga. Time. How does the media, quote unquote, baby black men? Can someone explain? Simba. It's the BBC stereotype that has these women of other races interested. They think that all dark skins have BBC. 731 at Galaxy. The same media that disses us. Time. Latinos don't want dark babies are pelo malo. Pelo malo. Black people here. 731. Man, we can't help that women love the chocolate skin and BBC. LOL. But yeah, I do think there's coddling because I kind of feel like people are very sensitive to dark-skinned black men's like feelings for some reason, when they tend to be not pretty sensitive to other people's feelings though. Galaxy, oh yeah, let's see a light-skinned man get away with all the shit people say about light-skinned men from people like Charlemagne and Tommy Sotomayor. Renee, we know you can't help it. That's mostly why we have all these mixed people. And also, like when police brutality comes up, it's usually black women who are on the front lines and who are really advocating for black men. Usually brown skin and dark skinned black women, if we want to be specific. I usually don't see like a whole gang of light brights and light skins and red bones out there marching. And to an extent, I kind of feel like the gender roles between dark-skinned men and dark-skinned women, and I guess probably brown-skinned women and brown-skinned men are somewhat reversed anyway. I feel like the men tend to take on the female's gender role while the women tend to take on the men's gender role. 731, because people fear us. They watch their mouth. They feel light-skinned cats off so they can say anything about y'all. LOL. I think people, I don't think, as far as like the community is concerned, I do think that dark-skinned black men will probably be more likely to abuse women, physically, sexually, emotionally, that sort of thing. I think statistically speaking, I think a woman probably is more likely to get abused one way or another by a dark-skinned man. So I can understand that fear in her not wanting to upset a dark-skinned man. But you know, I feel like at one point or another, we just have to tell it like it is, though. Kari Yates, dark much as hate light skin, much as but won't stop making them. Galaxy, Envy can't say shit back to Charlemagne, honestly. Simba, I like light-skinned women, but I want my babies, especially the boys, to be dark-skinned like me, so I mess with other races of women, but at the end, I'm having dark-skinned children. So you want children that look like you. What happens if you end up having a kid with a light-skinned woman and the children don't look like you? See, this is where this old colorism shit comes into play, right? Like, and I did a video about fathers, like light-skinned men who have dark-skinned fathers, and I guess dark-skinned fathers who have light-skinned sons. And I was like, you know, ooh-wee, thank God. Thank God that God was watching over me and did not allow me to have a dark-skinned father. I would be all kinds of screwed up, man. No. Time. Charlemagne is a dark-skinned man who bleaches himself, but still can't get light-skin status. I think he was just trying to even out his skin tone. 731. Red Bones marches to the club to find a fine chocolate man like me. How are they? Here we go, right back to desirability again. Y'all just want to sit around and look pretty. Scarlet, Simba, if you want a dark-skinned son, why not have it with a dark-skinned woman? Because they're colorist. Galaxy, yeah, well, yeah, people fear y'all. Y'all got CNN and every platform caping for y'all plight. Quote unquote plight. Simba, I'm going to have babies at the end in my late 40s with a dark-skinned woman so I can have baby boys that look like me. All right. Again, Simba's colorist, y'all. Time. Why do people keep framing colorism in terms of dating and sex? Yeah, you're right. I feel like that's a part of it, but it's more to it than that. Galaxy, bro, the type of chicks that only for dark-skinned dudes are some of the most stuck-up females. Honestly, I feel like when it comes to that, the females, I feel like it goes like this. The more basic and mediocre a light-skinned mixed and biracial female is, the more likely she is to end up with a brown-skinned and dark-skinned man. The more exceptional and beautiful and accomplished that she is, the less likely she is to end up with a brown-skinned or dark-skinned man. If you really look at this, this plays out in the media, if you notice that. Scarlet Rider, what's the issue with being dark-skinned? I don't think there's really an issue. Why do men hate women who look like them? Because they hate themselves. And colorism gives dark-skinned people self-esteem issues, while it gives light-skinned people identity issues. So that's the reason why that kind of plays out like that. So those dark-skinned men are projecting onto dark-skinned women because they have issues with themselves. They don't like what they see when they look in the mirror. Galaxy or 731 at Galaxy, because they want the best men. That's us chocolate men. I tell you, this guy 731 is hilarious. This guy's awesome. Scarlett, how can a dark-skinned man hate his mirror image of himself? I think it comes from perhaps society and how society views black people, especially darker-skinned black people, and how sometimes it tends to come off as if darker-skinned people aren't valued, or either they're devalued. All right, car show. Females really want light-skinned guys. It's just they think we're all players. I did set it up. I feel like dark-skinned and brown-skinned guys are more likely to play the role of the dumpster diver, the bottom feeder, um, you willing to kind of, especially with non-black women, you know. Car Yates, my husband is light skinned, LOL. Okay. There's a few women here, or a few women who frequent my channel who have light skinned husbands or significant others. Time, when women are not ovulating, they are more attracted to pretty faces, hair, skin, etc. Scarlett, you're one of those light skinned guys who think they're better. At Car Show. Galaxy at Car Show. The 80s is over, man. I don't know. I think they think that. I don't know they think that anymore. Kari, people preferring lighter skin is more social than biological. Yeah. That could be a factor too. Scarlett, yes, I do. I'm proud to be light-skinned and who I am. Well, I'm happy to hear that, Car Show. I always say that I feel like light-skinned men are probably the most well-adjusted people in the community, as well are more likely to actually like being light-skinned versus light-skinned women for some reason. Scarlet Rider, are you proud to be black though? Let's see. Galaxy, but a lot of women have these preferences because what they see on TV. Renee, the same for men. Time. Yes, the 80s was the era of the light-skinned male. Kay, blissfully me. I prefer light-skinned men, but if they have dark-skinned fathers, I'm hesitant. Light-skinned men who have white or light-skinned fathers tend to be more down-to-earth. Just my experience. Okay, it seems like you are really thinking critical about that. And I think that may be something that needs to be touched on, you know. Because they could end up inheriting their dark-skinned father's colorism. Car Show. All black inventions was created by light-skinned black men, even hip-hop. Galaxy. Yeah, I had a light-skinned father and a dark-skinned mother. Simba, it's not that I hate lighter babies, but I would love a baby that looks like me more. Okay. But I noticed like your choice in women doesn't seem to reflect that though. And it seems like you just want to use the dark skinned woman as like a breeder almost. Time. Light skinned men with dark skinned fathers might have more complexes due to their father's issues. Look at P. Diddy and his son Justin. What's the matter with them? Scarlett, I don't know. I feel like black Americans are very divided when it comes to complexion. Yeah, it's sad. Car show. Same here. My mother is dark skinned and my father is light skinned. Galaxy. Light skinned men with dark skinned fathers, they tend to get with white girls. Kari Yates. Colorism didn't just black American problem. We don't bleach anyone or anymore. All right. Coons have no primary color or complexion. If they want a Becky, they will get a Becky, LOL. Well, I heard from somebody that they think that beta male coons are, well, when they put up a picture of beta male coons, well, never mind. Galaxy, nah, them fools with dark skinned fathers be having a lot of issues. Simba, I would love to have light skinned baby girls, but for the boys, I want them to look like me. And there goes that agenda that light skinned females are light skinned daughters and dark skinned sons agenda. That's why I'm like, thank God. Thank you, God, for watching over me. This is why we got colorism issues right now in the community. Scarlet Rider, Kari Yates, or at Kari Yates. Have you seen Black China lately? There's definitely a bleaching problem. Simba, Galaxy at Simba, laugh my ass off. Kari Yates, she's going to Africa. Simba is the dude. Time. Simba is the dude Chrissy be talking about. LOL. Yeah, yeah. I've spoken on this too. I just feel like these dudes, like their choices in women do not reflect what they want in their kids. And to be fair, the light-skinned mixed and biracial women do the same thing. It's like the common sense seems to go out the window for some reason. Renee, bleaching problem in Jamaica, India, and Africa. 731, true. I want my son dark like me. Well, you probably should be with women who are dark like you then. Like, why are you interested in light skinned, mixed, and non black women? And you want your son to look like you. Do you want your daughter to look like you? Or to have your skin tone? No. Kari Yates. Not America. Bigger market due to colorism. Scarlett. Simba Makai. Really? Stephen, pretty sure you made a video about men wanting light-skinned daughters and dark-skinned sons. Yeah, I did. Time. I think a lot of dark-skinned men hate their dark-skinned daughters. Yeah. That is horrible. And also, thank God I didn't have a light-skinned mom either. Galaxy, LOL. Car show. We light-skinned people are considered mixed race by some black people. I noticed especially dark-skinned people say that a lot. Time. They need to hear Sojourner Truth's ain't I a woman speech. Time. Dark-skinned men tend to see light skin as more feminine, so they want their girls to be girly. And those dark-skinned dudes are colorists. Renee. At this point, I'm like, I think I need to keep my kids, if I ever have kids, I need to keep them away from y'all. Keep them away from this fucked up black community for sure. Renee. They don't want dark-skinned daughters. Yeah. Galaxy. I can't even imagine a light-skinned mom. You would be pretty screwed up if you had a light-skinned mom, probably. $731. I'm interested in women that's interested in me. I won't care about my daughter's skin tone. She can be any color. What about your son? Time, keep your kids off YouTube. Galaxy, nah, YouTube, get them woke. Scarlett at Car Show. There's a tribe in Africa who are 100% African and have never mixed their bloodline in their light skin. So, yeah. But yeah, you notice how colorist people just allow people the time and space, not allow them the opportunity and the space to just show you who they really are, show you their true color, so to speak, right? Sorry, yeah, everyone thinks light skin came from mixing, which is a huge lie. Scarlett, I can't remember the name of the tribe at Galaxy. Simba Macaulay at Scarlett. Does the tribe have wide noses, full lips, and nappy hair? If no, then they lying to you. Scarlett at Simba. Yeah, they do, hun. Just go look it up. 731. Light skin mother, dark skin father. That's how it goes in Black America. Dark skin masculine, light skin feminine. Yeah, I think we kind of need to stop pushing that narrative. I think that's kind of like a toxic narrative, honestly, that really helps reinforce that whole dark skinned sons, light skinned daughters agenda. But yeah, I do think that is at play when it comes to a lot of people in the community. Ooh, the black community is all kinds of screwed up, man. But yeah, I noticed that that relationship dynamic though between light-skinned females and dark-skinned males tend to breed a lot of colorism though, right? Notice that. Notice that that's a really problematic pairing. Galaxy, the Bushmen don't mix, and I think they are the oldest. Renee, all Africans don't have wide noses and nappy hair. LOL. Galaxy. 731 colorist. Yep. Time. That awful narrative harms black women the most. Yeah, but low key, there are some black women who do push that narrative. Honestly, they'll push that narrative for when they're comparing men, but I don't know if they notice that they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot with that. And ultimately, they end up hurting themselves in the long run because I think some of them think like they feel like they're getting at light-skinned men for some reason. And I'm like, well, the light-skinned dudes ultimately can manage, right? Better. Yeah, y'all may be able to trip us up, but you can't hold us down, though. Scarlet, why does dark skin have to be masculine when it comes to women? I mean, thankfully, because I wasn't raised in an environment that was colorist and, I was surrounded by, black women who were brown skin and dark skin. I never got that memo, thankfully. But I feel like that narrative is pushed a lot for some reason. I don't know why. I don't get why that is. And as well, I actually do have a video that addresses that whole dark skin is masculine thing. I've hesitated to release the video because I know some people are going to end up in their feelings about what I say in the video. Renee, again, from the white narrative. 731 at Galaxy. I'm not even, let's see. I'm not even, if I was, I'm not taking money out of your pockets. I guess she's saying he's not a colorist, and if he was, he's not taking money out of your pockets. Simba, it's easy to get any other race of women. I just use my dreads, afros, and afros can work too. It's a conversation starter. They ask if they can touch your hair, if they like you, and want BBC. Melissa. I agree, Steve. That light-skinned women and dark-skinned men pairing is toxic to the black community. I know. Shaking my damn head. My parents are pairing. Galaxy, there's probably like only two light-skinned dudes in the chat. RN. Time. I was raised in a colorist environment. My father is dark skinned. My mother's very light skinned, but thankfully I didn't turn out colorist. How were you able to resist the colorist brainwashing? Time. Pablo Frescobar at Simba. That sounds like they are petting you. K blissfully me. My mother is light skinned and my father is dark skinned. My father is so damn colorist to the point where he hated me wearing braids or looking ethnic. Oh, wow. That's horrible. It looks like you are light skinned on your photo, Kate blissfully me. Okay, right now, Galaxy. Okay. Time. I resisted colorist brainwashing once I got around white people. Scarlet Rider. Pablo Frescobar. So true. Petting you like you're an animal in a zoo. Galaxy. Women who get with you because you're a stereotype. LOL. I mean, what happens if at Simba? What happens if you slip up and have a kid with one of these women, and the kid isn't? It doesn't turn out the way that you want them to. I think honestly, I think that could be at play too when it comes to these black men, especially these dark skinned and brown skinned black men, like leaving women as like single moms. Time when I saw how white people treat black people regardless of color, it made me judge more by culture than by color. Time, if you are culturally black to me, you are black, no matter how light you are. Okay. Scarlet, at time, exactly. White people don't see dark or light most of the time, they just see a black person. Yeah. I think that possibly be the reason why some of these families and people be kind of like acting crazy when their daughters bring home dark skinned and brown skinned men to the family. Yeah, let's see. Tired of them little crazy light skinned kids raised by single white slash Latina moms. LOL. Scarlet at Galaxy. Trust, my niece is half Italian and her mom said to me her hair is horrible and nappy. Pablo Frescobar. Exactly, at Scarlet Rider. When they want to touch your hair, or BBC, they are seeing that black man as a tool to be used and not a person. NCB, what do you think of Chrissy? Chrissy's channel. I think most people know about Chrissy. Y'all know about Chrissy, right? I think overall for me, I think Chrissy does a great job, and I think that she is definitely making moves and doing major things. And I commend her for definitely investing and really, doing something. Not just talking, actually doing something, you know. I don't think Chrissy gets enough credit, and I think that's partially because she's a dark-skinned black woman. Because honestly, if she was a dark-skinned black man doing the same thing, she would be all types of black kings. They would be, you know, saying how awesome she is, and she would get so much defense from black men and black women. But since, she's not a dark skinned black man, but a dark skinned black woman, there's a bias at play. There's a hidden bias at play, you know. And also, Chrissy gets it from black women too. And those same black women wouldn't come, if she was a black man, a dark skinned black man, they wouldn't come after her. All right, Scarlett, at time, you're right. Black men are fetishized by non-black women. They only care about BBC and not the person inside. And also by mixed women, light-skinned women, brown-skinned women, dark-skinned women too. Time, at Scarlett, there is going to come a time when dark-skinned black men will have to bring something to the table more than BBC. Not if they're messing with black women. Time, as the country shifts economically, men will soon be judged by what they can provide tangibly. Scarlett, whatever happened to black love regardless of the skin tone? I feel like when it comes to black love, what is celebrated as black love tends to involve like brown skin and dark skinned people. I don't think people want to consider like light skinned people as like black love. NCB. It's really weird to see how the black male colorism hierarchy is flipped in America. I'm from East Africa, and it's the other way around. Light-skinned guys get better play. That is interesting. Yeah, the colorism hierarchy in America, honestly, just period, is pretty toxic. I did a video about the colorism hierarchy, and honestly, I feel like the hierarchy would make more sense if it was just like dark-skinned men and dark-skinned women. I feel like dark-skinned men should have put dark-skinned women at the top. I think that would have made things a lot less complex and a lot less messy. Time. BBC can't keep the lights on unless the dude is selling himself. Maybe women should consider turning their men out for some coin. Wow. NCB and don't, I guess, lash out at light skinned guys. 731, I should become a colorism therapist. How are you going to be a therapist to colorists people when you yourself are colorless? That would be like a cancer patient, or well, maybe not a cancer patient, but it would be like someone with like mental illness being a doctor for mental illness. 731. It's all the money, Steve. They won't know I'm colorless. It's all about the money. Seven. I mean, I'm not going to say that money's not important, but, it's not everything, 731. Money's not everything. NCB. I noticed that online, dark-skinned women are usually scolded, apparently preferring light-skinned guys and that dark-skinned guys liking lighter-skinned women is a retaliation slash punishment. I think I should write a thesis on this topic. It really fascinates me. When it comes to that situation, I think there are definitely dark-skinned men who have lashed out at dark-skinned women for being with men who are, honestly not even, non-black men. It's just men who are like light-skinned or biracial, black women, brown-skinned and dark-skinned women, being, verbally attacked and given a hard time over that, and they're just minding their own business. Like those guys are treating them like, they're not even black. Time. I know several dark-skinned women, light-skinned men pairings. They tend to be the most harmonious. Why is that? I do think they tend to be less problematic on average than light-skinned women and dark-skinned men for some reason. But why is that? 731. Just because I have issues doesn't mean I can't help them. I'll put my color response to the side for that paycheck. I think there's better ways to earn money, 731. Simba, white women are the easiest to get when you are I guess, a dark skin. Remember when there used to be that one white girl that likes me everywhere white people are at? Time. Anyone can get a white woman. Pablo. True as Simba Macaulay. Scarlett. Simba Macaulay. Or Simba. Back in the day, they would castrate a black man for even looking at a white woman. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of sad that I kind of, if I had it my way, I would like to just see, black people with black people, you know. But unfortunately, that's not happening, you know. And we have to just let people, you know, gotta let them go and do what they want to do. Time. Light skinned men and dark skinned women have different quote unquote baggage. When you have the same quote unquote baggage, you tend not to have harmonious relationships. What is the baggage that is the same when it comes to light skinned women and dark skinned men, though? NBC at time. I think it's because on average, light skinned guys have fewer hangups about skin color, probably due to not having experienced as much outside discrimination on this. Galaxy. Gavin Gates talks about colorism a lot in his songs. Time. Exactly what NCB said. Light skinned men have less colorist baggage. NBC. I'm pretty woke / Afrocentric. Haha. So I'd much rather end up with a black guy, but if it doesn't work out that way, so be it. Galaxy. Light skin / mixed women get treated like royalty. Light skinned women and dark skinned men are a parasitic relationship. I guess they both kind of feed off of each other, maybe. And leech off of each other. Pablo, only parasitic at time B. Galaxy, it's a status relationship. I think in some cases it's kind of like a trophy for the dark skinned man. And also perhaps even a consolation prize for the dark skinned man. NCB. Colorism is very, very rampant at PWI colleges. What are PWI colleges again? Time. In the end, dark skinned men are trying to escape blackness and everything negative that comes with that. I guess predominantly white institutions. Okay, yeah. Why would dark skinned men want to try escape blackness? Because it's like, you're black though. Scarlet. Black men seem to be okay with their erasure. Simba, I don't want a dark-skinned baby because I know how it feels. How sometimes I would go to a party and there would be a single dark-skinned girl with no date. I feel bad for my sister too. Well, maybe you should have, offered that to be that girl's date, Simba, instead of chasing after the light skin and the mixed chicks and the non-black women. 731. No, it's because light-skinned men, dark-skinned women get hurt over the colorism jokes because they feel it pokes fun at their masculinity and femininity. Why are those even jokes? Especially who I don't really think there are jokes aimed at the women though. Time. Exactly. You can't escape blackness, but some dark-skinned men think you can get closer to white power through light skin mixed in white women. NCB, I'll never understand dark-skinned women who say light-skinned guys are pretty / feminine, quote unquote, LOL. So what does that make you? Masculine and handsome? Yeah, I kind of feel like that is dark-skinned women, displaying their colorism, and I feel like they're ultimately shooting themselves in the foot with that mentality because, like I said, I think, light-skinned men can manage because light-skinned men are darker than a lot of women in the world are, in different groups. So they can manage. And I also feel like sometimes those women are perhaps low-key insecure with their own femininity because they've internalized that dark skin is masculine so much. And even sometimes they'll just, uplift dark-skinned men so much that they forget to uplift themselves. Time. Kevin Hart actively contributes to the system that will one day make his dark-skinned daughters feel outcast. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty toxic. $731. There's jokes about everyone. Light, dark, man, woman, tall, short, etc. Simba, why don't black women go to Africa to find an African dark-skinned man? They can't afford it. Going to Africa is a lot of money. But I do think that if you are a black woman, a brown-skinned, dark-skinned black woman, and, you're really dead set on getting like a brown-skinned, dark-skinned black man, and you feel like colorism is an issue that's preventing that, then perhaps like foreign black men could, be the answer to that. Chrissy actually spoke about that a while ago. Because she says, like, American dark-skinned men don't really approach her. It's usually have been foreign, dark-skinned black men who approached her. When it comes to American black men who approach her, it's usually light-skinned and mixed dudes. Scarlett, as a dark-skinned woman, I wish the black community. I actually didn't know you were dark-skinned, Scarlett. I guess it's because of that, the lighting in the photo, but I don't know. As a dark-skinned woman, I wish the black community would get off this colorism trip. It's actually very hurtful to not be seen as beautiful by your own men who lust after women who don't resemble you. Yeah, I agree. That's not, that's pretty fucked up. But thankfully, I'll say in the area that I live in, I definitely see a lot of brown skin and dark skinned men with brown skin and dark skinned women. Honestly, in the area that I live in, that's pretty normal. Um, you, they, the pairing tends to be brown skin and dark skinned folks together, you know. Yeah, you'll see some interracial pairings here and there, but the mass majority of the pairings are brown skin and dark skin men and women. NCB, because they shouldn't have to uproot their lives to find people who don't despise their skin color. At Scarlet Rider, so true, it really sucks. Sometimes I get so angry about it. I intentionally left swipe on dark skinned guys on Tinder or ignored them. Haha, it ain't right though. Simba, the only black women I'll ever love are Somalis and Ella Train. I always struggle to pronounce that word. They have naturally straight hair, thin nose, not nappy hair. So they don't have, so features like yours, they don't have. They don't have your nappy hair that you hate, your big nose that you hate, your dark skin that you hate. They don't remind you of yourself who you hate, right? NCB at Simba, do you want a cookie? Time B. Okay, I think Simba Macaulay might be a Caucasoid cave beast masquerading as a black person. Pablo, Simba Macaulay is trolling. 731. It's normal everywhere. Only insecure people feel colorism exists. 731. Are you a troll too? Galaxy, we got another colorist. LOL. Illa train. Okay. Thank you, 731 and Pablo Frescobar. NCB at 731. LOL, quote unquote, racism is everywhere. Only insecure black people feel like it exists. Time. 731 is probably a Jamaican or some form of Caribbean colorist. 731, nah, no trolling, just my thoughts, LOL. Galaxy, LOL, Jamaicans and Haitians are the worst. 731, at NCB, proof of racism, no proof of colorism. Simba, I'm Kenyan African, but born in America. NCB. 731, as J. Cole said, I can't save everyone who doesn't want to be saved. Educate yourself. Simba is not quote unquote black. Yeah. I hope Simba is a troll. Okay. Kenny Kid Chocolate Jenkins. I haven't seen you in a while, Kenny. Where you been? Why do your videos help the black community? I'm not trolling. Oh yeah, you're one of those people who think that, just be quiet about colorism. Don't speak on it. It doesn't exist. Time. I don't consider American born Africans black. Oh, really? Time. I just don't consider Africans to be black. 731. Just be quiet about colorism. LOL. K blissfully me. I don't know why light-skinned men are looked at as weak and not masculine when light-skinned men have contributed more to the black community than dark-skinned men. Time. Even if you are born in America, you don't have roots in American blackness. Okay. Blissfully K. Majority of our leaders were light-skinned males. I think people just like to push that narrative, just, I don't know. I think it helps when it comes to desirability. Kitty Kid Jenkins, Kenny Kid Chocolate Jenkins. Kenny. No, you have a right to speak. But why do you make videos about colorism? NCB at Kenny. Because someone has to. So, Kenny, do my colorism videos offend you? It kind of turns into like how white people talk about racism. It's like sometimes, white people just be like, if you just stop talking about racism, it wouldn't be a problem. - 731 at blissfully false. Most of our leaders are dark skinned like 50 Cent, Biggie, Diddy, Tupac, Denzel, Wesley, Lance Gross, Tyrese, etc. I think those dudes are more so entertainers than like black leaders. I wouldn't trust them Negroes to lead me to a carpool. Kenny, no, I don't think it helps. I think it divides. Does it make you feel uncomfortable when colorism conversations come up? Kenny? Time. Do I have a problem getting black women? I feel like the black women who are interested in me probably tend to be black from a distance. Um, I think as far as being interested, I think more so no. As far as like um, relationships, probably more so like long term. I don't know. It's complicated. I think we should ignore this troll. Kenny, no, it depends on the intentions of the person. You think that I don't have good intentions? Do you think that I'm just trying to start problems between the people of different skin tones? Y'all are all over the place since it's 7:31. Steven's married to Chrissy. Chrissy isn't even married. Chrissy, I think she's engaged to get married though. NCB. Would you say it's easy? It's gotten easier to date black women as you've grown older. I think it's about the same time. I thought Steven was Arabic when I first saw his videos. I was about to go on a rant in the video, lol. How come? How come you were about to go on a rant in the video? And how did you think that I was Arabic or Middle Eastern or Arab? Simba. At Galaxy. Black American sounds better. You don't know nothing about Africa. 7:31. Laugh my ass off. Kenny, that's not for me to say what your intentions are, but I would like to know what your intentions are if you don't mind elaborating on it. um, my intentions ultimately are to help perpetuate the conversation of colorism and to keep it going. I think a lot of times, and also to help in certain situations and to help bring light into certain situations. Oftentimes, I think the conversations on colorism tends to get swept under the rug, and also there's a lot of gaslighting that happens and a lot of shaming that happens. And I try to help by pushing through all that because a lot of times those gaslighted and shaming tactics are aimed at dark-skinned women. So if I come through and pushing, my narrative and whatnot, I tend to not have to deal with that. Oh, time. Steven, you could pass for Arabic when you shave the mustache. I don't like non-black people talking about black issues. What were you gonna? Okay, you said that you thought I was Arabic or non-black when you first saw me. What? How did you find out that I was black? Like, what kind of triggered you there? Like, what? How did you find out my race? Time. You said you had two black parents. Oh. I guess I said that in the video, I guess. You were about to go off on me. What were you going to say? 7:31. Because you talk about race, LMAO. Time. I get really annoyed when non-black people try to talk about black issues or what black people need to do. But since I'm black and I have two black parents, it's cool though. Yes. What if I was like mixed or biracial? Would you take issues with me talking about black issues then? Nico Opus. Hi. Hey, what's up, Nico? I think this is my first time seeing you come through a live stream and in the comments. I don't think I've seen you at all. But welcome, you know. And I appreciate you and your support. Time. If you were mixed or biracial, as long as you are culturally black, you can talk about black issues. Okay. Looks like, time. Looks like you got some criteria. Like you ain't just taking black advice from anybody. Um, Nico, what about black people from the diaspora, like from other places, like Jamaica? Um, okay, Nick, what are you referencing exactly? About, I guess, how people feel about other black people from the different parts of the diaspora? At time B. Okay. I think I know time B's answer. Time, you can be culturally black and happen to be from Jamaica, then yes, you can speak about it. I feel like in that situation, I feel like if you are Jamaican, but you were raised in a black environment, like black African American environment, then yes. But I feel like if you just, you know, got off the plane or got off the boat, then I'm not sure. Just like it would be weird for me to speak on like Haitians people issues, right? I mean, we all black, but they would be like, wait a minute, you don't know shit about us. Time. Stephen, you hit the nail on the head. Time. You have to have been raised culturally black American. I agree. I think you need to have been raised in the culture and, surrounded by the culture, influenced by the culture to speak on the issues. NCB, what do you think about contemporary black oriented shows like Insecure? I think they have a pretty good representation across the color board. I actually have never watched the show. I've heard about it though. Congratulations to Lisa, not Lisa, right? Issa Rae. I guess Time is in the fan. Time says Insecure is a black show made for white people, like Blackish. It's all made for white consumption. 731 likes Martin. And I was just watching a clip of Martin on YouTube. Um, it was actually some Shanae clips, but it was just one clip of Shanae where she mentions the word swirl, right? And I was wondering, did Shanae coin the term swirl? Yeah, it might be time B. I think that might be the earliest documented, use of the word. Okay. Well, wait. Actually, we used that term in the 80s from Jello pudding pops. We called them chocolate vanilla swirl. Time. I think I'm going to make a YouTube channel. Okay. I'll come through and watch and try to support. 7:31. My parents said Martin too toxic for me to watch. No, they didn't. Time. Chrissy, let's see. Steve and Chrissy have inspired me. What are you going to talk about? Time. Time. Not necessarily colorism, but maybe the experience of growing up, quote unquote, black. Like everybody hates Chris. That was my show. This is NCB at 7:31. Only the hyper offended complain about other people getting offended by stuff. In my opinion. Time. Hit dogs holler. NCB love everybody hates Chris. That show is okay. Nico, I had a Congolese friend who moved here when he was little as refugees. He had an African family, but had black friends and people around him. Even sounds black if he didn't tell you. You just know he's black. Some of them blend in and try and act like us. 7:31 at NCB. Never complain. I just found it funny. You the one that complained. Snap, snap. Hit Africans holler. Y'all crazy. Well, I guess I best bring this live stream to a close, y'all. But thanks a lot for coming through. I appreciate you guys' support. I appreciate you guys' feedback. I thank you very much for continuing to watch. And I'm going to release a video um, pretty soon, probably within the next um, hour, or probably the next 15 minutes, really. I guess I don't know what I'm going to release though. I have a video that's about 10 things I love about black women. That's one that I could release, or either a video about a PSA to black women, telling them to stop giving black men the satisfaction. Thanks a lot for you guys coming through. I appreciate you guys. So until the next time, adios and goodbye for now.